You don't have knee pain when you run because your muscles are weak. It's because your muscles are slow. Now, most runners know that if you have weak muscles, they're going to struggle to protect the knees, and this can actually be the cause of knee pain when we're running. But what runners often don't know is that having strong muscles isn't enough. We also need fast muscles. Now, most runners will struggle with knee pain on and off for years, and they will get very little help. The doctors will tell them to rest, which makes their muscles weaker, which means the knee pain is worse when they try and run. They'll go to physical therapy. They'll give them exercises that are way too easy, way too light, like clamshells and bridges, that don't make them any stronger. And so their knee pain sticks around. Unfortunately, this is the reality for most runners. Now, some runners do a bit better than that. They actually do get stronger, either because they work with a physical therapist that understands how to make them stronger so they can offload the knees, or they understand strength training well enough that they know how to do it on their own. But they can still struggle with knee pain, and that's because they're missing a key ingredient that nobody ever talks about: power. Their issue isn't weak muscles, it's slow muscles. Their muscles don't fire fast enough to protect their knees when they hit the ground. When we run, our foot is on the ground. For 1/3 of a second, we don't have time to build up, to think about it, to activate, to squeeze. If our muscles are strong but slow, they can't activate quick enough to protect the knee. Our muscles have to fire explosively fast as soon as we hit the ground to protect the knees. Otherwise, it's the knees that take the hit, and that is muscular power. Power is our ability to express our muscle strength quickly. It's generating the force, but not building up slowly. It's developing that force instantly as soon as we hit the ground. Now try this little test. Stand up and jump up and down. Now jump up and down, but stand on one leg, so you're hopping up and down. Now do the same two tests, but go as high as you can. So jump up and down as high as you can, and then hop up and down as high as you can. Now ask yourself, do I bounce instantly off the ground when I hit it? Do I jump high? Do I explode off the ground? Do I feel a pop? Do I land softly and instantly bounce back up as high as I did from the last one? If not, then you lack power. Do you sag? Do you give? Do you sink down? Does it feel like you're jumping on quicksand? Does it feel like you're heavy, like it's hard to get off the ground? This is a lack of muscular power. If we can't create this force when we're standing there trying to jump as high as we can off the ground, we can't hope to create it quickly enough to protect our knees when we're running. When we're running, we're basically hopping thousands of times per hour. If our muscles aren't powerful enough to react quickly and protect the knees, then the knees will take the brunt of it. And unfortunately, most runners will never have power looked at. Even if they go to a good physical therapist, or if they understand good strength training and they are strong, they might be able to do heavy squats and deadlifts and calf raises. But if you ask them to hop up and down as high as they can, they barely get off the ground. And unfortunately, it means that all of that work, building that strength, has gone to waste because they only have 1/3 of a second to use it. And if they can't access it, they might as well not have it. So if we want to run pain-free and we want to run effortlessly, then we need to have that power. We need to have strength and power. We need to be able to jump, bound, and hop effortlessly with explosive propulsion. We need to feel that bounce, that pop. Then we know that we have the muscular power to protect ourselves as we run. So what do? How do we build the muscular power necessary to help us protect our knees when we run? We're going to do max effort plyometrics. 5 repetitions, 5 sets, twice a week. For example, squat down and jump as high as you can in the air. Now do 5 of them. That's 5 repetitions. Now take a 2-minute rest. Do 5 more sets of that. That's 5 sets of 5 repetitions of a maximum effort squat jump. And I want to be clear here. We squat down, we jump as high as we can every time. When we hit the ground, we land softly and we jump up as high as we can on the next rep. If you just did that twice a week, that would be a great start. That's really going to help you improve and develop that muscular power. Now, 5 reps, 5 sets, twice a week is sufficient volume for most runners. We don't need to do more than that. But after a while, those squat jumps are going to get a little bit easier. Our body's going to get very efficient. It's not going to be the same challenge. It's not going to be the same stimulus. So we want to add a little bit of variety in. So this is where we can progress it by adding weight. So we can just hold some light dumbbells in our hand, 5 pounds, and do the same squat jumps. We can progress them from there for 10, 15, 20-pound dumbbells. Last time I did this earlier this week, I had 2 35-pound dumbbells in my hands. I squat down, jumped as high as I can. I did 5 repetitions, took a 2-minute rest, and repeated for 5 sets. We can also add in some variety. So maybe one day we're doing our squat jumps, but the other day we're doing a single leg version. So that might be something like a lunge switch, or something I like, which is called a runner hop, which is where you step back into a rear lunge, you touch your knee on the ground, and then you jump up in the air as high as you can off that front foot. But we can really start to use our imagination. We can do bounding, we can do hopping, we can do triple hopping for distance as far as we can. We can jump on a box, we can jump off a box, we can drop off a box and jump as far as we can. We can drop off a box, land on one leg, and hop 3 times as far as we can every time. We really can use our imagination when it comes to training our power, because the variety can be helpful. But the principle is we do 5 repetitions, we do 5 sets, we do at least twice a week. And the really, really important bit is max effort. Whether we are jumping or hopping, we are jumping up or hopping up, or we hopping forwards or jumping forwards. We're going as far as we can on every repetition, max effort. If there's a bouncing element to it, like the squat jump or the triple hop, imagine the floor is really hot and you're trying to spring off it quickly. That'll train that bounce, that pop. Now, I know what you're thinking. I can't do that. I'll hurt myself. And we found the problem. If you can't do that, if you lack the strength, the resilience, the coordination to do this, you're vulnerable. The solution is not to avoid jumping and hopping. It's to start slowly and carefully build up until you can. So start with 2 reps and 2 sets, or 3 reps and 3 sets. And instead of jumping as high as you can, do a little teeny tiny hop, a little teeny tiny jump. We do this with our runners all the time. A lot of the time people are coming in with knee pain so bad, they can't walk very far, never mind run. We can't get them to squat down and jump up and down in the air as high as they can with 35-pound dumbbells in each hand and do 5 sets and then do that twice a week. They're just going to be in a ton of pain. So what we start them with is bend your knees a little bit, jump up in the air, not very high, land, do 2 reps. Okay, take a 2-minute break. Now do it again. Now do 3 sets of that. And then we do that for the first week, and then we add a little bit more, jump a little bit higher. 3rd week, jump a little bit more, a little bit higher. Then we start to add more reps to the sets. Then we add more sets until we get to that 5 sets of 5 max effort. Then we can start to add weight, or we can do a single leg version, or we can do a variety of different plyometric exercises. The key is that the principle is the same. We start at the level that you're at and you build up slowly. And you do not accept that limitation that I can't do that. If you can't do it, that's a challenge. You can overcome that. This plyometric training will help us build the power that we need in our muscles to protect our knees so that when we hit the ground, our muscles activate instantly, shielding the knee from the stress and helping us explode forward. And the best bit that I left for the end, it'll make you a faster runner. So if you want to become a faster runner who doesn't have knee pain, who knows how to build the strength and power in their muscles to keep running for the rest of their life, do this. If you want it laid out a little bit more, I've included a link in the description to a strength and power program I wrote specifically for runners. And you can start with that. But go to the link, click it, get it sent to your email. You'll have your little PDF printed off. It's got links to the videos. Most important bit, do it. Nothing happens if you don't do it.